I found out my partner Emma was cheating, and I wish that was the worst part, because cheating is simple. You feel the betrayal, you walk away, you heal. But what I discovered wasn't simple. It was layered, calculated, and by the time I understood it, I was already part of it. My name is Daniel, and Emma and I had been together for 4 years, long enough for everything to feel normal, predictable, safe, which is why the first signs didn't hit me the way they should have. Just small things. A message hidden too quickly, late nights that didn't make sense, a sudden need for privacy, but nothing obvious. Nothing that would make you accuse someone outright. So instead I watched. And the more I watched, the more I realized this wasn't careless behavior, it was controlled. Like she was managing two lives at once with disturbing confidence. The night I confirmed it, she had fallen asleep with her phone unlocked. And what I found wasn't just cheating, it was a full second relationship. Messages going back months, inside jokes, plans, even conversations about me, analyzing my habits, my finances, my routines. And that's when something shifted in me, because I realized I wasn't just being betrayed, I was being studied, used, positioned like part of a larger plan, and suddenly leaving felt too easy for her. So instead of confronting Emma, I stayed and I played along. I became the version of myself she expected, calm, trusting, unaware, while quietly observing everything, collecting patterns, noticing how she spoke differently depending on who she was talking to, how precise her lies were. And then I found the messages that changed everything. Not emotional ones, but strategic ones. Conversations about timing, about money, about leaving me once certain things were secured. And that's when I understood this wasn't about love at all. It was about leverage, and I was the investment. At that point, I should have walked away, but I didn't because I needed to know how far it went. So I went deeper. I started documenting everything, every message, every inconsistency. And then I noticed something else. The person Emma was cheating with wasn't random. It was Alex, someone I knew well, someone I trusted, my own colleague from work who had been to my house, who had sat across from me, who knew details about my life that were now being used against me, which meant he wasn't just part of the affair. He was directly connected to me, and that's when everything became darker, because now I realized both of them had been watching me. At that point, I made a decision I never thought I would make. I reached out to Alex carefully, anonymously at first, just observing how he reacted, how he spoke, and slowly the truth revealed itself. He wasn't in control either. Emma had been feeding him a completely different story, making him believe I was distant, careless, already planning to leave her, manipulating him in a different way. And that's when everything shifted because now it wasn't just me watching Emma, it was two of us, and she had no idea. So instead of confronting her, Alex and I worked together, quietly, patiently, letting everything unfold while feeding small pieces of controlled information back into her plans, different versions of the same story, details that would expose how she was using it. And every time she took the bait, repeating those details, adjusting her strategy, thinking she was getting closer to the perfect outcome while in reality, she was revealing everything to us. And what we uncovered was worse than we expected. It wasn't just emotional betrayal, it was financial. Emma was planning to walk away from both of us with everything, using me for stability and him for opportunity, playing both sides perfectly while preparing to disappear at the right moment, and she believed she had everything under control. So we planned the ending, a moment where all the lies would collide at once. No escape, no way to twist the narrative. And when that moment came, we didn't argue, we didn't accuse. We revealed everything. The messages, the timelines, the manipulation. Not just to Emma, but in front of both of us together, forcing every version of her story to collapse at the same time. And just like that, her control disappeared. The lies contradicted each other. And for the first time, she had no version of reality left to hide behind. She was exposed completely, trying to fix it, trying to explain, but it was already over. But here's the part neither of them saw coming, the real ending, the part that made all of it darker than anything they planned. Because while Alex and I were working together, while we were exposing Emma, I realized something. If someone could lie that deeply, manipulate that easily, then trust itself was the real weakness, not just in her, but in everyone involved, including him. Because after everything, how could I trust someone who was willing to betray me in the first place, even if he was also being played? So I made one final decision. I didn't just walk away from Emma, I walked away from Alex too. No warning, no explanation, just gone. Cutting both of them out completely, because in a game like this, you don't win by choosing the right side. You win by refusing to be part of it at all. And in the end, Emma lost everything. Her plan, her control, both of us. And Alex lost the person he thought he could trust after everything. But I didn't stay to watch it fall apart. Because the real victory wasn't revenge. It was making sure no one ever had that kind of control over me again. So tell me, if you were me, would you have trusted Alex after everything? Or walked away from both of them without looking back?